Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Manor Lords, and welcome back to Snerber. And you know what? Welcome back to Nerdavond as well. I actually want to start here today because I want to take a moment to talk about the clothing situation, because there have been a few comments talking about this, and there's one in particular that I want to reply to, that I want to thank, that I want to shout out, because it kind of solves all of my problems. And that is specifically a comment by a commenter, a person called Dominic, that says the clothing mechanic has been updated and is currently buggy in the beta, with the main issue being an excessively high consumption rate that will be fixed to a 1 unit per family per 180 days consumption rate in a future hotfix. So basically, my tailors are making clothes and they are doing their best. It's just that the consumption rate for clothing is huge right now, and I don't know if we're ever going to be able to keep up with that. But that's not going to stop me from trying, because I do have some ideas for some things we can do to at least improve our chances of giving people clothes. And so thing number one is I want to go around the Nerdavond storehouses, and I want to say that this storehouse, for example, which is pretty far away from tailors, weavers, or the sheep farm, this place is not going to store wool, it is not going to store yarn, it is not going to store linen. I don't know if we have any of those things in here right now. We do have a little bit of yarn, but basically we're going to do this for all of our storehouses. We're going to go around and set them up to be a little bit more efficient based on where they are. So this one over here is going to be pretty much the same story. It is not going to need any of the clothing materials in there. Up this way, I kind of want to say the same thing. It's going to be no wool, no yarn, no linen. And then as we come over here, we do have a little storehouse in here which could actually, if we wanted it to, store something like yarn. I could go through and basically say it stores nothing but yarn, but we could have this one store yarn, we could have this one store wool. I'm going to say no linen. In fact, you know what? I'm going to say no linen and no yarn on this one, so that this storehouse is going to be holding all of our wool, and then that's going to go into the weaver's workshop and be turned into yarn, which I then want to bring down to this storehouse. And I want to go through and say that this one is not going to have wool, but this one can have linen, this one can have yarn. And the reason this one has those things is because there's a tailor right down the street from it. There are 2 more tailors right down the street here. There's a couple more tailors behind it, and there's 1 more tailor over here. You know, I'm realizing that with like the 6 tailors that we have around here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wait, that's another one? Hold on, we've got like 7 tailors. I think something tells me that this bug in the beta is not going to be something that I can counter. But damn it, I am going to try. And you know what? I do want to go over to Snerber, but before we do, I'm going to build an entirely new sort of little district thing here in Nerdavond, because I have some ideas for a little something that we can do. So I'm going to bring this road up to here. We're going to just sort of continue it through to about that spot, and that should be totally fine. And then over this way, we're going to bring a road sort of out and around. I would like to sort of keep that tree line there, but I don't think that's going to be too much of an option. We'll just go straight across like this. And that gives us a lot of room for a lot of burgage plots, which is exactly what we want in here. So we're going to start, I guess, on this corner. We can go across to about this spot. We'll come down to about here, and we'll do 6 new burgage plots right there. And then we have this space over here as well, which is going to be room for, let's see how many burgage plots we're looking at here. It is 7 burgage plots. That is totally fine by me. We can make that work. We'll get those plots in there. We don't have anyone to build them right now, so I guess since the weavers are doing their best, we'll take someone out of there and we'll let these burgage plots come together, and we'll just sort of see what happens. I'm also thinking it might be an idea to go through and just look at a few more upgrades around here. So we have some little level 1 burgage plots down here. I think these guys could be reasonably upgraded a little bit, although apparently we don't have enough timber. So you know what? This one's getting upgraded. The rest of them can get built. we need to go to Snerber. And the reason I want to come over here is because we actually do have a really good amount of wool, a really good amount of yarn, we have a good amount of linen, and we also have leather as well. Now, the leather isn't going to be all that useful. We're actually exporting it from here, and that's making us a little bit of money. The leather can be turned into shoes, which gets consumed by level 3 burgage plots. But what I'm thinking is that maybe we get ourselves a cobbler and we turn them into shoes and sell the shoes, because we might as well get a little bit of extra money for a little bit of extra production. And then while we're here, I'm gonna get some tailor's workshops. And I'm gonna do this to turn the linen and the yarn into clothes, and then instead of moving only linen and yarn over to Nordrvand, we're also going to move a bunch of clothes and just see what happens. Now, we will probably want to get another trading post, because I'm trying to work out how these trading posts work, right? I mean, they do have storage. They have 4 people working here. We have 2 animals here. We have all of our trades set up. Like, I get the basics of it, but I'm wondering if I was to go and build another trading post and then put another 4 people to work, that might be a really good way to get more stuff going over to Nordrvand. So that's what we're going to try, and we're hopefully going to make this work, and it's hopefully going to be okay. Now, I'm thinking this new trading post can go in here. I'm thinking that right next to it, we can probably do a little marketplace, because we have this little space right here. That's room for 8 new stalls, which I guess is totally fine. And since we're going to be putting a lot of people to work in this trading post, and we'll probably get a new granary and a new storehouse, I think we'll also get a bunch of new burgage plots just over this way in Snerber. And I'm also thinking that if everything works out today, we might want to go down and start working towards getting our hands on another new region. There is, of course, a region down there in the southern part of the map that has a whole bunch of, well, it's got a rich stone deposit, which would be really, really good for us. But we'll get these burgage plots in here. We can do, I don't know what this is going to look like. We'll do a little something like this. That looks a little bit silly. Let's make those a little bit smaller. That's better. We can do, I'm just going to make a bunch of burgage plots in here. I want a really nice sort of boom to the population here. I think it'd be really, really cool to just get an absolute ton of people in here. Although I don't love that layout, so let's go this way instead. That's a little bit better. And then we'll go from here to about there. We'll go straight back like this, and I think I can work with that. We could go at a bit more of an angle just to sort of turn them around. I think I can work with that. I think that'll be okay. That's going to be, what, 17 new living spaces? That's going to be a lot of people, but it's also room for a lot of vegetable gardens. It's room for a bunch of orchards or chickens or goats or pigs, so this should be fine. We can make this work. All right, so the cobbler is up and running. The tailor shops are up and running as well, so let's make sure that these guys are working with linen. These guys are going to be working with wool, and that should be perfectly fine. We don't need to worry about sort of minimum amounts of those things. We do have this new trading post up and running where we're going to get some livestock, and I guess we can go ahead and sort of assign those. We do have 4 unassigned families. I don't think we need to worry about fully staffing this place right now, but that's okay. I do think the trades are shared between the 2 trading posts, so that's a regional thing. That's okay. Let's go in and let's stop exporting leather. And instead, we'll go to commodities. We can export shoes. We'll get a trade route set up for this. And that's just going to make us a little bit more money. I think it was 5 gold for leather. It is 7 for shoes. I'm okay with this. I think that'll be completely fine. What we can also do, I suppose, is go to export clothes. We're not going to do that to the region, though. That is just going to be a local thing, and we'll say a minimum of 1 in here, just because I want to make sure that this is behaving the way I want it to behave. And hopefully we can start moving those clothes over to Nordrvand. And I do actually want to take a quick look at Nordrvand, because if I'm not mistaken, the trading post here should be set up, yeah, right here. So it is 7 gold for us to import clothes, from Snerber. It is 17 because of the import tariffs. That's a bit topical. To import them from the broader region. So this actually works out really nicely for us, and I'm very much okay with this. Now, slightly annoyingly, we are actually starting to see clothes get produced and shipped out to different houses, but the beverages are no longer being supplied in Nedervond. So we kind of need to get on top of that and figure out why. We just don't have enough ale. Do we have barley in storage, I guess, is probably the question. We don't have a lot of barley in storage. So if we go back to Snerber and we have a look at Snerber and see how barley is looking here, we actually have a lot, which kind of tells me that getting this second trading post might have actually been a really good idea, because it should mean that, well, hopefully if we get another horse as well, we can start moving barley. Hopefully that's a thing we can kind of pull off here and start moving a bunch more of that over to Nedervond, because Nedervond, as we know, is not capable of, we can't grow barley over there, basically. So yeah, we're kind of going to be relying on trade with our neighboring region here to get that ale production up a little bit, which, yeah, I'm hoping a second trading post is actually going to be the solution to that. There is, 50 something barley sitting in here. There will hopefully be a bunch of barley sitting in here at some point. So yeah, here's hoping. Oh, an enemy unit has been spotted. Now they are way down here, and get the feeling they might be going for this region right here by the looks of it. So that's unfortunate. That's a little unfortunate, but that's nothing I can really do about that. I don't love that they have spawned in the region that I want to take over. That is definitely doing me a bit of a concern, but it should be all right. I've also noticed that this is a really nicely flat region, isn't it? Also, I've just thought building a town around a river, I like the idea of that. Oh, I like that idea a lot. I think we could build a really cool little town down here, especially with the stone deposit. That's going to be great. We do have bandits down here. We don't need to worry about those. We also have wild animals, which, to be fair, we've never dealt with hunting in this particular run of Manor Lords, so that'll be nice to get our hands on as well. Okay, so we have all of these new burgage plots over here in Nedervond. So I think what we could do is maybe go through and do more of an orchard in here. I mean, looking at the clothes in looking at the food in Nedervond, we do actually have a good amount of fruit. We have a good amount of vegetables. We don't actually have that much meat, and that is something that people will complain about. That is something that they want. So maybe actually going for more animal pens and just getting an absolute ton of pigs over here would be the way to go. So I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll just go down this line and swap out all of these for animal pens. Admittedly, as I'm doing this, I can't help but feel I can't help but feel that these burgage plots, like these yards, are maybe a little bit too big for animal pens. Like these ones over here, maybe, but I almost wonder if it's like a waste of this space to do animal pens. Should we do much smaller burgage plots? I'm gonna do all of these with animal pens, and we're gonna get pigs in here just because we do need them. But I can't help but wonder if maybe a bunch of smaller burgage plots with animal pens would be the way to go. And that might be something I want to experiment with a little bit. It's something maybe half this size, but still a bunch of pigs. I don't know if those are dependent on or influenced by the size of the plot. So I guess we'll just stay on top of it. I guess we'll just sort of keep an eye and see what happens with the animal pens, and we'll sort of hope for the best. When it comes to Snerber over here, I want to have a look at our food here as well. And kind of a similar story. We have a lot of vegetables, we have a lot of fruit, we have a good amount of bread, but not a lot of meat. Now, these burgage plots are way too big for me to want to do animal pens. So I think what we'll do over here is maybe orchards, to be honest. I think more orchards could be kind of nice. We do have a good amount of fruit but not as much as we have vegetables. So we'll go through and just turn a bunch of these into orchards. And while that construction's going on, I actually want to come back up in here, and I would kind of like to build another forester's hut. This area is getting a little bit, I mean, look, we are regrowing the trees. We're just not doing a very good job of it. So I'm kind of wondering if another forester in here wouldn't be a terrible idea. I mean, we can pull it off. We're going to have a lot of families that want to work around here, so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. We could put one over here if we wanted to. We could put it out here. I think, honestly, I'm just going to put it sort of up at the end of this road, and that'll be totally fine. We can get some foresters working in there to hopefully replant this entire area. We can also go ahead and get rid of the stone gatherer down here because we don't need that anymore, which is going to save us some resources and get us a couple more families. Looking down this way, construction is still going along really nicely. There's so many. There are so many burgage plots still to build in here. It's gonna take a minute, but I think it's gonna be good. Okay, so a lot of the burgage plot construction is done. In fact, I think all of it's done both here in Nordavond and over here in Snerber. So we have all of these new houses as orchards. We're gonna have a ton of people that are unassigned in these places as well, which I'm kind of okay with. And I might go down the line while we're here and just start to upgrade some of these burgage plots just because we can. I'm sure we're not gonna have enough planks to do all of them, but that's okay. We'll get some of them done. We'll start going down the line and upgrading all of these guys. They seem relatively happy to be here, so we might as well give them some better houses. Now, what I'm thinking is that we do have enough war bows to get another archer militia, and we have enough spears almost to get another full spear militia. And we have a ton of people in Nordavond, so I'm kind of wondering, I mean, we probably don't need another militia. Admittedly, I'd like a crossbow militia as well. I think I'd kind of like some different ones. I'm not gonna lie, it'd be kind of cool to get some different ones now that I think about it. So, man, maybe that's what we do. Maybe we do. Maybe we do go in here and get some slightly different militia types. Do I have any small? We do have some small burgage plots down here that could be swapped out and turned into like little, you know, engineering workshops or whatever they're gonna be. I could get rid of this one burgage plot, which, I mean, it's a nice vegetable garden, but it's a lot of valuable space in the middle of town. So yeah, I'm gonna try something here. We're gonna demolish this burgage plot is what we're gonna do, which means these supplies need to be moved and taken away. Thankfully, we do have available living spaces, so it's not the end of the world that we're clearing out this space. I just need the supplies to go away. If someone could grab those planks, that would be kind of fantastic. There we go. And then my thinking here is that we go in and very specifically build just like a small burgage plot. If I can get an expansion thing at the back of it, that would be kind of ideal. So something like this, we rotate it around. I don't think it's actually going to work, unfortunately. Can I do this and have that work? I can have that work. If I go slightly smaller, does that still give me an expansion? It actually does, and I'm okay with that. So this is going to be a burgage plot with a little, it's going to be an artisan's workshop, basically, is what I'm getting at. And then over here, we can do, is that too small? That is too small. Is this going to allow it to be a thing if I go down to here, there, and there? That actually works quite nicely as well. And so that can also be a little artisan's workshop. And then I'm wondering, can I do this and have it work? That's just 3 little burgage plots, which I'm not interested in 3 little burgage plots right there. I want the full thing. Now, annoyingly, I'm just noticing what the game's doing here. It's not gonna fill up that space properly. Or is it? Yes, it is. Okay, we can do this as well. So that's gonna give me room for 3 artisan workshops. We're gonna have to level those up to level 2. But I think that's gonna look so much better in the middle of town than a big farm. I know the aesthetics don't matter, but I feel like we're getting to a point where I can spend a little bit of time being like, hey, this doesn't make sense in the middle of town. I feel like we're getting to that point. Like these little guys here could probably go away. This farm is never going to go away because it's actually essential to things, but I like the idea of a little cluster of like artisan workshops in here. I think that would be kind of cool. And we have to keep in mind that I think, if I'm not mistaken, that we do need something like this. Yeah, we need another bowyer's whatever workshop. We're probably going to need another joiner as well. Oh, I think we have one. We have both. What do we need for crossbows? Planks and iron parts. Okay. Okay, that's going to be fun. The blacksmith, can I get you to make pole arms? We totally could get you to make pole arms. That'd be kind of cool. I could get you to make sidearms as well. We need the iron parts. Oh, this is going to suck. This is going to suck. So we're going to need another blacksmith, is what this tells me, because I want to keep making the war bows. So another blacksmith. Oh, why are you so far back from that road? That is not at all what I was looking for. Another blacksmith is going to be important. We'll go ahead and upgrade this to have an expansion slot as well. Another blacksmith, another bower's workshop, and I guess whatever this third one is going to be it's going to be whatever. That's fine. that sentence made perfect sense. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, so we need the iron parts. We want the crossbows, and I guess whatever we need for like this, the pike militia or whatever else. So this blacksmith, I guess, we're going to say, let's make pole arms. Let's do an upper limit of like 36 on these. And you know what? We'll go into here and I guess we'll get ourselves a polearm militia. They just need pole arms. So that's actually really good. I can work with that. We can make 36 pole arms. We're going to be fine. The militia footmen need sidearms and small shields. So we can work on that as well. We have these guys coming together, so it's going to take a minute because we need people to move into these houses. But once they do, and once they get to level 2, I think we can kit them out with some good stuff. You know, I've realized I could have my joiner switch over to working on small shields. That might not be a bad idea. We'll keep a limit of, say, 50 planks. We're going to go for 36 of these guys, and that should be fine. We do need the small shields for the militia footmen, and then we need the sidearms. We could give these guys better equipment as well. We do have the ability to make gambesons. I guess it's not considered clothing, I suppose. I don't know if we can actually make armor. I've really got no idea on that one. If I look at you, oh, there is an armorer's workshop. Oh, there's an armorer's workshop. Oh no, I didn't. I mean, I've seen it 100 times. It just didn't cross my mind that was a thing we were gonna have to contend with. Ugh. Okay. We might, I might, oh, what do I want to do for the armorer's workshop? How do I want to make that work? How much iron ore do we have sitting around? Also, we have 894 mortar. Now, hold on a second. Hold. Are we? Yep. Yep, that's exactly what we're doing. We're just constantly importing stone and turning it into mortar for no reason. Okay, that's good. I'm really glad we've been doing that. That explains so much about what's been going on around here. Do we have much iron ore? We do not, which is a little bit unfortunate. It would be nice if we did. We have a lot of iron slabs, but we don't have a lot of iron ore. So I think I'm going to clear out these burgage plots is what I'm going to do. I think these guys are going to go away. And we're going to try and turn this entire little block into some kind of, I guess, can I actually demolish this? Asking person inside to leave. Wait, can I not get rid of this? Hold on a minute. There we go. Okay, they've been asked to leave, I guess. They've been made to leave. But my thinking is we turn this entire little block into just a production powerhouse is what I would like to do. I'm also thinking that since we have so many unassigned families, we could maybe put a storehouse in the middle of everything. That could be kind of interesting, just to have this right at the back behind everything. We just have a storehouse. Not 100% sure how it's going to work necessarily. We could, I guess, just sort of put it down here and have it sort of right at the edge of everything instead of right in the middle. That would probably make the most sense, actually, as well. Or on the corner would be another spot that I think would make sense. Let's do it on the corner. I think that's going to be the best place for it. And then for the rest of these burgage plots, we don't need to go too big with them. We just want to do... I kind of just want to do like, well, we'll just do this, I guess. So we'll go over like this. That doesn't really give us a lot of room in that third one. But if I make these a little bit smaller, that does give us some expansion space, which I think is going to look cool. So we'll do that. We can go in here and do something like this, which I think is kind of neat. And then if we go down here, I am really hoping I can do this. That is unfortunately only going to give me one expansion spot on the left side, which is really annoying. I was hoping this would, I was hoping it would work slightly differently and just give me an expansion. But you know what? That's okay. It fills up the space in kind of an interesting way. I think this is going to look good. I'm kind of excited about this. And you know what? We've got people living in some of these plots as well, so we can start to upgrade them and start to turn them into artisan workshops, which I think is going to be fantastic for Nerdavond. Oh, this is looking so good. I love this. I absolutely love this, and I'm so excited to start putting some things in here that we happen to need. We just don't have the money for, which is typical. Every time. It's always, we always just never have the money that we would need. I think this building up front, I think can be an armorer's workshop. I think that'll be a pretty good idea for this space. I guess we just need to wait until the end of the month to get some regional wealth. There we go. Now we have regional wealth. We can turn this into an armorer's workshop. This one over here is going to be a blacksmith's workshop. And then this one, I guess it's not, is it level 2? It is level 2. This one, I guess, could be, I mean, we want to keep making war bows, right? So I think another bower's workshop would be a great idea for that space. And we'll get those coming together, hopefully nice and quickly. This guy can be upgraded to level 2 right away. These ones are still sitting here empty, which is completely fine by me. Not the end of the world. We'll get those together in no time at all. And I want to make sure we have 6 unassigned families. Let's just make sure that this granary is fully staffed. And I guess this storehouse we could do something with as well. We do obviously have this new storehouse down here. The game loves to freeze every time I'm talking. We have this new storehouse down here, which I figure we probably will end up needing a new market for. I don't know if this marketplace over here has room or not, but I guess we'll put, yeah, it does have room. We'll put someone in there and that should be totally fine. This storehouse is just going to store absolutely everything because it might as well. And I think that'll be fine, not the end of the world. And we'll get this bower's workshop to start working on crossbows, is what we're gonna do. We'll say there's a limit of 36 of those because I think that makes sense. We are going to need iron parts, which I am relatively sure I did not tell the blacksmith to make. We are doing pole arms though, and we have 2 of those in storage right now because we are working, we have a polearm militia. Okay. Since we have the polearm militia, let's get you to start working on sidearms. And also, oh my God, this is, this apparently happens when you run the game at like 3 times speed. If I run it normally like this, you can see they're actually starting to figure out where to go. I know my little streets are quite narrow, but that bug is apparently to do with like running the simulation really, really high and really fast. So yeah, wow. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Blacksmith, let's get you working on iron parts. We'll say a minimum of 5 iron slabs. We'll say a maximum of, I don't know, 25 iron parts, I guess, is going to be fine. You are working on crossbows, up to 36 of them. And then the armorer's workshop. So you can do helmets. I don't know how many of those we would need. I don't know how much plate armor we would need. I guess we'll take a look and see who wants what. I think they can all wear... So you guys can wear chainmail and helmets. You guys can wear chainmail and helmets. You guys are chainmail. Does it matter? It seems like they all also want gambesons, which is an interesting choice. Let's just have the armor work on helmets for now. We'll say up to a maximum of 36 of those with a minimum of like 5 iron slabs. We are not going to have enough iron to maintain everything. This is going to be a lot of production around here. I'm excited for it. I am looking forward to getting this all coming together, but it's going to be a lot. It's what it's going to be. It's going to be a whole lot of stuff. Now, did we need another joiner's workshop? I don't remember if we did. Do we need another brewery? Do we have any barley in storage? We have a little bit. We have a little bit of ale too, with obviously no clothes, which is fine. What would I want this guy to be? I guess another joiner wouldn't hurt. Another butcher might not hurt. I guess. I don't know if we, what do you do? Mutton and hides from surplus livestock, sausages from salt and meats. We should probably import salt is what I'm thinking. We probably don't want another blacksmith. That seems like a terrible idea. Another cobbler seems like I don't know if we need anything is what I'm thinking here. I really don't know that we need anything. Maybe a blacksmith just to keep up with like tool production because we can. That seems like a fair idea. Or a bakery, actually. Do we have a lot of... Yeah, we got some... You know what? We'll do another bakery. Why not? It's not going to hurt. Might as well. Okay, so while we're waiting on Nerdavond to do its thing and move in a handful more people, I've come back over to Snerber because I realized there are 15 unassigned families here. Now, we're doing okay. We actually have a good amount of food, a good amount of fuel. We're doing just fine. But I want to make sure that we're okay. I want to make sure that we're not going to run out of food at any point. So my thinking is that we have a really good amount of wheat fertility and rye fertility down here. And we have 15 unassigned families. So why don't we just put people to work in another windmill and in a bunch more farms and kind of just make sure that we have an absolute ton of food in here. That's kind of my thought process. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. We're going to build a windmill over there. And then over this way, we have this huge open space that we can work with. And I think what I'm going to do is sort of go through. I don't need to do this. There's no reason to sort of follow the curvature of this forest or do any of this extra work that I'm about to do. But I want to make some interesting looking farms out here. And I think this could be kind of neat if we sort of have them, I don't know, follow the general curvature of the forests here. So we'll go to about there, and that'll be fine. We'll have this sort of come around and do its thing as well. So I think we'll go, do I want to go into that little gap there? I think I kind of slightly do. I think we can get away with this. And again, we're just going to sort of follow the edge of the forest and I guess come up to about there. And that should be all right. We'll do the same thing over on this side. And it's just going to give us some interesting looking farms. I know it's unnecessary. I know we don't need to do this, but I feel like we're getting to the point in the game where I've kind of, my options for what to do next are slightly limited. And by that, I mean, there's a reason I'm putting together an army. I don't know if the other lords actually fight back against anything I might do to them. I might just have to go and sort of lay claim to their territory via influence. And if that's the case, that's fine. I can do that. I'm not saying that I'm getting bored of Manor Lords either. I want to do things and I want to keep sort of moving forward with things. So I do think going and taking out at least one of the other lords is going to be on the cards at some point in the not too distant future. I think that'll be kind of a cool thing to do. So, army basically is what we need. I also like the idea of making sure that Snerber is really nicely fed. So that's why we're doing all that we're doing here and trying to get some interesting looking farms in the process. And I think this will look cool. I think this will be kind of neat looking to get all these little weirdly shaped farms in here. Some of them might be slightly larger than they need to be, but that'll be that'll be fine. It's not the end of the world if the farms are slightly larger than one more. Although I will say, I have my doubts as to whether or not one little farmhouse is going to be enough to run all of this land, but I'm kind of excited to find out. So this is going to be just a fun little experiment, basically. I also love that the game is actually working with me here, and that's a 2.8 Morgan field. Ooh, that's a bit big. I love that the game is actually working with me here and giving me fields the shape and size that I want. That makes me so happy that it's actually behaving today. It usually doesn't, which is, it makes a nice change, basically, is what I'm getting at. So let's make sure that this field is in here. That's a 1.1. This field over here is a bit of a weird shape to it, but it is going to work as well. It's a 1.4. This one I am hoping is going to behave. It absolutely is. It's a 1.0, which is great. And then this guy is going to be a bit of a weird one, isn't it? It's not going to want to work with that corner, which I kind of understand and totally get. Although apparently I can make it work, which is really nice. It's not quite working, but apparently that's a thing we can sort of do. If I just push that into that corner, does that look okay? I really want it to be against that road. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe we turn this into 2 smaller fields. Not that we need them to be smaller fields, but maybe we just do it anyway, just to try and get this to work the way I would want it to. So if I now push this into that corner, I can work with that. That little bit of a gap down there, I don't love it, but it's not the end of the world. We'll go ahead and do this as well. And that gives us a bunch of fields in here, which I think looks really cool. I love this. I really do. I think that looks so cool. We can also go off of this road right here and sort of cut up through this area to connect out to the bottom of these fields here, which gives us a nice straight shot through to the rest of Snerber, which I think is great. So I'm going to be honest, I wasn't expecting all of the other farmers in Snerber to come down here and start working these fields, but then I remembered that we don't have assigned work areas for these guys, so they are just going to work wherever they want, which honestly I'm kind of okay with because there's so many of them. I think we can kind of pull this off. I don't think it's going to be to the detriment of Snerber, so we'll just see what happens. We'll also go ahead and get 8 people working right in here so that they are nice and close to all of these fields, which have all been set up, by the way, and they all have their crop rotations good to go. We are working on upgrading some of them to have fences so that they can also be pastures if that happens to be a thing that the sheep farmers want to do with these fields. I don't really mind too much if that is something they end up doing. I think this will be good though. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this all come together. I'm looking forward to seeing it working. We can get people into this windmill here as well to make sure that all of the new wheat and all of the new rye is getting processed and turned into food for Snerber. I like this. I like this a lot. I think it's going to be really, really cool. And so I guess we come back to Nordrvand, where I want to make a crossbow militia, but I can't because we have enough units as it is. So essentially, I think I'm going to get rid of, I mean, we have 2 archers, I think we get rid of one of the spear militias, and then we get the crossbow guys, because we are making crossbows, and that's very exciting. That's what we want. We also have a helmet on one of these guys, which is very cool. I also totally forgot we can customize these fellas if we want to. We can also spend money to upgrade their armor, which that's very cool. That's very, very cool. I like that a lot. We can recruit people, which is a thing. Interesting. I didn't realize this was how you recruit people, but yeah, we can recruit more people to this. We have to upgrade each of their sets of armor individually, but look at you. They look so cool. I also really hope that they don't cost, that's how much money we have. Can I just I can just fill this out if I want to, which is amazing. Let me get like a few more. Let me get like 10 of you. Let me go down the line. How much is it to upgrade your armor? 26? They look so cool. Oh my God. I kind of want all of them. I do want to fill out this little squad right here because I've seen a couple of comments asking why I haven't been dealing with these guys. I'll be honest, I didn't know. I I have done this before. I forgot that this was a thing you can do, to be completely honest with you. It looks really cool. I love that you can customize their gear. I love that you can like change out their weapons. That's very, very cool. Oh man, I love it. I really do. I really, really love it. That's very, very cool. I kind of want to give them like the hammer looking thing. And then the helmets, I mean, what do we want to go for? I feel like this is quite neat. All right, I kind of want to see what these guys actually look like in here. And, oh, they look so good. They've all got the same armor. They've all got the same color scheme, slightly different patterns on the shields, but they look really cool. They look really, really cool. I love that. And what's even better is I can run alongside them if I want to. This is a thing that we haven't really played with in this series so far, but there is like a visit mode. You can run down into your town and I can run alongside my soldiers. It's very, very cool. I love this. Okay, so coming back out of our visit, I have gone ahead and upgraded the rest of these burgage plots, and I've assigned some artisan jobs to all of them now, except this one. There's no room for a workshop, but that's okay. This is another bakery. So we have 2 on this block. This one up here is rye. This one down here is wheat. This is another tailor's shop, but what I've done is I've set them to start working on gambesons, because that way we can very, very slowly start providing those to our army, which is what we want to do. So that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the goal. That's kind of the plan. It is going to take some time to provide everybody with armor and chainmail and all that good stuff. We are really going to be struggling with our iron situation, but we should be okay. It'll take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. We will start to kit these guys out with better and better stuff, which is what we want to do. And I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to just grab everybody. And I'm going to skip these guys because they don't have a full squad right now. But I want to grab everybody. And I basically want to put together a little army just up this way. And we're going to send them out to deal with this bandit camp. Now, is it necessary to send the entire army after a single bandit camp? Probably not. Is it funny? Kinda. Is basically my mindset on this. Kind of. I think it'll be interesting to see all these guys come together. And actually, I want to grab them and set them up in a nice sort of formation here, so we can just get a good look at them, so I can see what we're dealing with. I mean, this is probably, I think, the biggest army I've had in Manor Lords, which makes me very excited. I do like this a lot. I really, really do. It's very, very cool. I don't know if I've ever messed with crossbows, which is kind of neat. So that'll be a little something something for sure. These guys just look so cool though. They really, really do. They look so cool. I love how they look. Anyway, we should we should probably advance is what I'm thinking. We'll tell them to maybe walk. I think that might be an idea. I don't think I can tell them not, you know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just, let's just go deal with these bandits. I'm going to sort of move my guys to, let's see, here is my thinking. We're going to try and lure the bandits out, which I'm hoping this is going to do by sort of moving them down that way. The bandits are going to start cutting through this little opening, and then we can just absolutely pick them off is what we're going to do. And thus far, the bandits don't seem to care, which is totally fine. I'm not expecting them to. We can bring my guys forward is what I think we'll do next. So we'll bring them through that little tree line right there. And again, we're going to just sort of keep an eye on the bandits and see if there we go. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. I want you guys, and you guys. And I want you to go just stand in a nice, intimidating line right about there is what I want you to do. So that's going to mean that my archers and my crossbowmen are nicely protected and they can stand sort of back here. And I'm just curious to see what happens is what I am. I am just very curious to see how this goes. And I mean, realistically, we know how it's going to go. I say curious to see how it goes. What I mean is I'm curious to see how quickly we annihilate these guys is more the intent behind that. Yeah, that was that was quite quick, is what that was. That was pretty good, actually, all things considered. Let's go down there, I guess. We'll send these guys, or rather, we'll send these guys to the bandit camp to collect everything. That seems like a great idea. And then the rest of you, except for you guys, I said the rest of you, except those guys, can go home, and we'll disband them once they get there, and everything should be good. I'm looking forward to. I'm gonna send that to the treasury as well, because I think the money will be quite good for the treasury. Another bandit camp has been sighted. Really? Where would that happen to be? Where is the other bandit camp? Hold on a second. Oh, it's up here. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh, those poor bandits. Okay. That's very unfortunate for them. Let's have you guys go deal with that, if you wouldn't mind. We'll just, you know what, the archers can probably just go home. They can go home. I think we're more than capable of dealing with this, is what I'm thinking. There we go. Okay, so I think we've done some good work here today. I do think in the next episode, we can maybe go ahead and start to settle that other region so we can get that infinite supply of stone and start shipping that around to wherever we happen to need it, which I'm honestly thinking is going to be up here to Nerdervond, so we can turn it into something that we can just export, because Nerdervond is struggling with money. And I think if it had more money, it would then be able to import stuff from Snerber, which would be really good for us. So that's sort of what's on the agenda for the next episode, as well as maybe just seeing what the process is for taking out one of the other lords. We might start with the easy one, you know, the one that's been burned down 100 times. We'll go in there and sort of finish the job a little bit. But yeah, that's going to do us for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.